Strategies for Real Estate, a 30-minute program updating you on today's real estate market and discussing current issues and opportunities in the desirable Silicon Valley. Plus, interviews with real estate experts giving you insight on what's to come. With your hosts, Tracy Knapp and Dan Lawson. And now, Strategies for Real Estate.
Hello and welcome to our show. I'm Dan Lawson. I'm very happy with us tonight. We'll start our program off with our real estate climate segment. A good friend and huge professional in real estate, Dyer from Dyer Real Estate, is going to be sharing some of his success and how he makes selling a home for you a very successful experience. We'll then go to our we'll go to our weekly spotlight segment. I've got a guest on. He's a financial planner with UBS Financial. His name is Trevor Schwartz. He's a fellow Rotarian, someone you can trust, and someone you can trust to expand your portfolio. We'll be learning quite a bit about that today. Then on our viewer mail segment, a familiar face to Strategies for Real Estate is Steve Smith, and we'll be talking about having an inspired life. It's now time for our real estate climate segment. Hello and welcome to our real estate climate segment. It's now my pleasure to introduce a friend, as I mentioned, Dyer from Dyer Real Estate Services. Jay, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me over.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's long overdue. We've been working together for over 2 years, I think, and you finally are carving out some time to be on the show and
You
share.
definitely have been asking, and I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my pleasure. So, well, let's start with, since it's your first time on the program, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in real estate and so forth? And
Sure. You know, been here in Willow Glen, San Jose area since 1984.
Okay.
Over the last, I would say, 10 years, partnered up with Dyer Real Estate Services. They've been terrific with me and been very supportive in my systems and my team. So it's been going terrific since then.
Awesome. Well, what about the area in which you're licensed to do real estate anywhere in California?
Right.
But I know you have a focus of being more of a specialist. So what are some of those areas you like to work in?
Well, we kind of like to think that, you know, one of our taglines is real estate in Silicon Valley.
Right.
Even though I'm based and live in Willow Glen and San Jose, we have strong ties to Los Gatos, Saratoga, Cupertino, and other areas in Silicon Valley. So I would say basically it's a great area here, and there's enough work going on for everyone in this valley.
Oh, of course. Well, you know, we're going to delve into a lot of the more of the real estate questions, but I thought I'd just ask so people get a read on some of the other things you're interested in, other organizations you might be involved with. Tell me about them.
Thanks, Dan. Over the years, we've been involved in several organizations, and Dyer, for one, has one that's it's all geared towards children and children's organizations and foundations. I would say since 2004, Dan, they've given over $2 million to certain children organizations.
Well, that's a wonderful give back, a big financial give back.
Big financial, and again, every transaction that we're involved in, we donate to the foundation, so we're all kind of into this together. Some of the other ones is more local in the Willow Glen. We help the Willow Glen Booster Club, which is focusing on choir, band, musical theaters, and things like that. So,
yeah, music and the arts and athletic programs, but certainly music and art, they're really getting hit with local schools.
Yeah, they need as much help as they can use, and so we are always trying to give back into the community, and it's always a good thing to do. Yeah,
the correlation of those things with education and mathematics, it's just unbelievable how the correlation works. So it's wonderful to do that.
Yes.
So, well, let's jump back into your focus as a professional and how you work as a team. I know you have a team of professionals that support you, and how does this create a great experience for your clients?
Right, good question. We know that we're going to be meeting clients in the future. We know that these clients are going to be needing to sell a $500,000, $700,000, $1 million home. And so we're preparing for them. We've been preparing for them for years and always preparing our systems.
Right.
And so part of that preparation is getting the right team to sell a home for them. For example, we need to have a trusted professional as escrow and title. We need a stager possibly. We have a mortgage professional where you and I work together with our buyers and things.
Right, thank you.
You know, sellers may need a painter, handyman. So we've organized all these people that we can trust to help them through the process of selling their home.
Okay. Well, then it just leads me to ask, how do you prepare your sellers? I mean, you have all these different tools, and from staging to painting and preparation, landscaping, all these things.
Right.
And there's a step and a process to this.
It's a difficult process for sellers today, and sometimes I tell them it's not so much because they're tied to their home emotionally. It's been their home, but now we have to kind of look at it as their asset. It's a
mental shift for them. Yeah.
I mean, even for most of us, Dan, I would say our home is one of our most valuable assets. And so how do we prepare that asset, and how do we put that asset in the highest light? And we do that through multiple ways with getting the home prepared, but I think when the seller shifts and understands that it's, okay, I know it's my home, but it's really my asset and I need to prepare that, then they really are more willing to do more things and to prepare that asset.
And what are some of the things that come to mind, just to shed a little light on it, for people who may be considering a sale of a home?
Right. Well, again, I think the more time you prepare to get that asset ready up front, because it's really a little bit of work up front.
And it's really not a fair question I'm asking, because it could be a lot of work to a little work, or just a few things to a lot of things, and staging and so on. So I'm sorry I asked the question.
It's a good question, because what we try to do is bring that team of professionals, give that seller those options.
Right.
They can use the full gamut of the options, or we can make it custom for them as well.
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got a very strong marketing program. So how is it that it works and benefits your sellers?
Yes, it's similar to when we know we have to prepare for the seller and getting the team of professionals. As for when we're marketing, we know in the future, we're going to be marketing a home for $500,000, $700,000, and $1 million.
Right.
So we have, again, similar team of professionals. We have a professional photographer. We have a professional stager, people who we can trust. We have email pushes, and we have the computer software to be able to push their home in the highest light. We have the professional photographer take those pictures, and we take them, and then we push them out there for them. So those are a few of the things we do.
I see. Okay. And what about when maybe a seller might throw something out at you, say, well, let's try this, let's try that. There's always this give and take with a seller, because you don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right.
You want to bring them into the whole scope and gamut of it. And I'm just throwing a question that just came to mind. How do you deal and soften it for a client so they understand that, well, you might be wanting to take them in a way that's the right way, and they may have a vision that's totally different.
Right.
And this is part of the art form that you have, you and your team.
And I do find, sometimes they'll be able to do some things, and sometimes they won't want to do some things.
It's really part of that team effort you have with your seller, yeah?
Right.
So maybe talk a bit about that.
Right. It really is a team effort where they're focusing on getting the home ready, and they have to continue to get the home show ready during the week as they're going away.
Sure.
Where we're doing the marketing and doing the email pushes and maybe the open houses and those such things.
And you might be checking in to see, because I know one client we had recently, this gentleman lived in a house for 30 plus years, right? And he had just huge amounts of things that just were collectibles that represented his life.
Oh, it was an original owner for over 50 years, and
right.
It's again, that's part of that process, and it's a hard process to go through sometimes to separate your items over all those many years to do that.
Right.
But again, having, I guess, the value of bringing these professionals in to help them, either it's someone who helps them declutter or destage or help them move or
paint and
update
and upgrade.
Yes.
Because your motivation is to help them, your job is to help them get the best price they can for their house. So it leads me now to my last question. We just have a bit of time left, not much. We hear so much in the media about, and it seems to me it's more national news, and we live in this microcosm called Silicon Valley.
Yes.
So what do you project? What do you see for the next 6 months? Give me a little look into your crystal ball.
Okay, with my crystal ball, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you are in the business, the rates are at historically low.
Right.
We don't know what's really going to happen after the election.
Right. We don't even know who's going to be elected.
We don't even know who's going to be elected.
Right.
We know that the inventory in all of Santa Clara County is low. It's been continuing low over the last 6 months, which means we've had a healthy market. People are buying. So I think with the combination of rates, the way the inventory low, and with Silicon Valley, it's really a good storm for a seller. I'd say the 6 to 9 months.
I would say it's a great time for sellers. So Jay,
Yeah.
thanks for being on the show.
Thank you
We'll
very
have you on
much,
again
Dan.
soon.
Very
and
appreciate it.
And now that you know what it's like, I expect to have
It's
you on
not too
more often.
bad. Not too bad.